Let's talk about the other side of Ara. Let's go back quickly. That was 2 years ago, 3, when the new Ooni of Ife became Ooni. That is the Ooni Adeyeye Ogunwusi Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi Ojaja II. Suddenly you were in the palace, and initially a lot of people started saying, "Oh, maybe Ooni has an interest in Ara because of her beauty, because of her charisma." Then somebody said, "Oh, she's a cultural ambassador," and eventually I think I watched you on TVC in Your View. You came to debunk a lot of stories. Some people say you were dating Ooni, that Ooni wanted to marry you, that it was because of you that the former Olori went away, the Olori from Edo State, a lot of stories and all that. Is it true that you were dating Ooni Ojaja at that time? Because the story was so strong.
I wasn't dating him. I was very close to him, extremely close to him. There's no way I'll be his cultural ambassador and not be close to him. A lot of people insinuated that. I think apart from, maybe there was one day I knelt in front of him and he just put his hand on my shoulder and everybody was there. That's the closest I've been to Kabiyesi. Not even a handshake. Not even getting to sit beside him. And there may have been intentions in different quarters, but I never dated him.
People say you charmed him with your looks.
Well, is it possible to charm a god like that? It's not just an Oba. It's a god or Nirisha. What kind of charm can I have?
Charm of beauty.
Well, I'm not the most, and I wasn't the most beautiful woman in the palace at the time. The Olori was even more beautiful. So there's no way I would have charmed him. They only appreciated my talent and the fact that I'm a cultural activist. You understand? And he's somebody that we all hold in high esteem. So there was no personal. Well, maybe if I didn't have a child, there would have been. Because you only cannot be with a woman who has a child. You cannot marry somebody who has had a child. Maybe if there was no child, maybe we will not be saying this. Maybe it could have happened. But there was nothing like that between us.
They got to a stage that they even said that you have one Irukure, the one you came with from your car today, a white Irukure like that. Sorry, I think, they said you use, God bless you, man. They said that was what you are using to control him, that it was one that gave you, that is part of what make you a kind of, that you are one of the Oloris now, that you have this, that is because of that I gave you this. How true is it, ma'am? Please.
Thank you so much. I got this in Oshogbo. The woman that sold it to me is still alive today.
Are you sure? I can't believe.
Yes.
You look more like Ife.
I got this in Oshogbo. I produced a movie titled Oshofunke in 2013, featuring Baba Wande, Femi Jacobs, Uncle Yemi Shodimu, myself, Olamide Bado, a lot of people, Doris Simon, Muyiwa Londona, and Golugo, Dejotu Fulu, Antikwejo Gumola, a lot of people in the movie. So it was part of the props that we bought for the movie. This was in 2013. I think Ooni of Ife ascended the throne of his. Thank you. Thank you. So it had nothing. And then when I dress up sometimes, I hold it. Sometimes I even take it on stage as part of our props. I think it's something like Orishabumi would hold. I think it's like, and then it has like Ade on it. So it has, Ooni didn't give me anything. He didn't give me, I bought this.
In a nutshell, you are trying to debunk it that you didn't date Ooni Adeyeye Ogunwusi and there was nothing between you and the young Kabiyesi.
I never dated him. Never. I never dated him.
Why did you leave the palace? Because we learned that was what brought rumor between you and the queen. Yes, they said there was a rancor that eventually you have to leave the palace because of your principles and all. There are a lot of stories that you have not been able to successfully debunk today. And I want you to please, with total honor, kindly debunk it.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Put light to it.
I hold you in very high esteem.
Thank you, ma. God bless.
Amen. Yes, it was a fact that Olori Zainab Otiti and I had issues when I was in the palace. And she didn't have issues with me alone, but she had issues with me. At the time, I was the one handling the widows for Kabiyesi. people called their attention to the fact that I was dating the Kabiyesi and that I was being addressed as Olori in the palace. Yes, I was being addressed as Olori, truly. I think in particular the Olokun people, when I came out to greet them, everybody greeted her Kabiyesi, Olori. And then the mamas, they called me Olori. Then Baba appointed, I think, Auntie Modele Sharafa to be in care of the Oloris at that time in Ife. Boldly in the public, one of the mamas told her, I said, no, Aralafe. Because I'd been taking care of them before Auntie came. And they understood me better. And I was always getting what they wanted for them from the palace. And we were doing prayers all over at that time. I think every Wednesday we used to have vigils and stuff like that. And the mamas, all of them. So people went to tell the Olori that, she has taken over. So when she came, she now said to me, I need you to hands off the widows project. I will handle it from now. And I said, okay, no problem. She said, why are you carrying yourself like the queen? They're calling you Olori. And I said, I'm not the queen. I have nothing to do outside of my work. So that day I said, okay, no problem. So I went back to Kabiyesi. I said, sir, Olori said I should hands off the project. And he now said, oh, okay, don't worry, I'll talk to her. So he left. Afterwards, I was told to continue. I don't know what they discussed. I was told to continue. Then, one day, we had a long discussion. That's Olori and I. Very personal for 4 hours. During that discussion, I was able to clear the air. I said, I have never dated and will not date His Imperial Majesty. And woman to woman, I told her a lot of things. And she shared a lot of personal things with me. A lot. So I was able to advise her. And I told her what to do. But after that time, we never saw. I left Ife. I actually resigned.
Resigned?
Yes, I resigned
as a result of her inferiority complex and her fears for your position. You just felt that diplomatically maybe you should just let what should be.
Diplomatically. I felt that it was time to leave. Because there's so many things I don't want to say on here. With due respect to His Imperial Majesty and the throne of Ile-Ife. So I left. I wasn't even supposed to resign. It was one mistake I made. Because Oba Adeyeye resign. I should have just left, but Majamasa Mushi. So that was why I left Ife. I was surprised and I was not surprised when she eventually left. Because I was privy to some information. So that's about that between the Olori and I. She's a highly intelligent woman.
How will you describe her really? Because I was going to ask her, is she that she's somebody that, how will you describe her as a person? Because a lot of people felt as maybe she was too afraid, especially with the presence of women like you around His Imperial Majesty, the Kabiyesi himself. And Kabiyesi being a very young man with a lot of money, a lot of affluence, a lot of charisma, goodwill.
She is, because she's still alive today. Very and highly intelligent, highly resourceful. Yeah, she had her issues with women around Kabiyesi. I wasn't the only one. And one of the things I made her realize then was that, listen, there will always be women around Kabiyesi. Apart from the fact that he's young, he's a new king at that time, you just need to know how to manage the situation. You cannot drive everybody. You cannot fight everybody. You cannot accuse everybody. You know. So, like I said, I gave her some advice. Very deep ones. And she gave me some gifts. She was so happy I advised her. Because according to her, things started working again. You know, because they had issues at the time. She wasn't managing the situation well. She's one queen that shouldn't have left the palace.
Why did you say so?
From my own outsider observation, as an outsider, an insider at some point, an outsider, she was the kind of queen that could hold sway if she didn't allow her emotions if she could control her emotions. She couldn't. And I want to say maybe lack of experience for the of the Yoruba culture and throne. Perhaps she didn't have good advisors as well. Because when I said I spent 4 hours talking to her, the things she said to me in confidence and the things I told her and the steps I told her to take, she humbly took them. And she told me she got results, good results. Lórí ètò Agogo Ayọ̀, àtẹniṣètò àtẹnigbètò pátápátá, a ó máa fayọ̀ ṣe dídé.